Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to some more StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today I got a game for you that is, to say the least, a little bit unorthodox. This is a game that is a little bit crazy, something you won't be seeing a whole lot on the ladder, something you may want to learn from at least a little bit, but something that is not gonna be very common on the ladder whatsoever. So, in this particular match, my opponent, known by the name of Olo, I'm looking at this like it's an emoji, right? It's some sort of emoticon right here. I'm thinking, it looks kind of like an owl face, right? With little O's and dashes and whatnot. But anyways, my opponent is deciding to do something a little bit tricky. You may have already noticed on the production tab that very first pylon that my opponent put down, or at least that pylon that is currently in production, is a little bit weird. This pylon isn't supposed to be up at this given time. Now, I am obviously playing Zerg here. I am going to play as greedy as possible because that's sort of the playstyle that I enjoy playing a lot. And I end up going for a hatchery, and then I want to go for another hatchery as well. However, things are going to be thrown off a little bit, and I'm going to have to play something that I am not very used to whatsoever. So, hopefully you enjoy this match. It's going to be a little bit of a wonky one. So, here we go. Very first hatchery goes down. I plan on playing a macro-focused game. As you guys may very well be aware, I play pretty much only macro-focused styles. And I wanted to go for the hatch gas pool there, but I was like, nah. Even though I'm a little bit late on my minerals right now because I was talking to people in the chat, because this was actually played on the live stream. I'm like, I may as well just go for the third base here. So I get towards the third base and I find 3 gateways. And I know something is not quite right here. So what I'm gonna do is use that drone that actually was moving towards my third base and move it to his side of the map right now. I know very well that my opponent put all of his eggs in one basket. He put up 3 gateways close to my base. He's cutting pro production. He definitely is trying his very hardest to finish this game off within several minutes. He's not gonna go for the late game. He's probably not planning on making an expansion. He's doing very little. He's just going absolutely 100% all in. So the only thing I really need to do is hold this aggression and make sure that I get inside of his base. And I'm doing so by building a base inside of his base, right? You see what happens here? My opponent obviously is not fully aware of this hatchery here just yet. I don't think he gets vision of it for another little while, but at the same time, the first Zealots are already moving across the map. Now, my spawning pool is just about to finish up, and I decide to go ahead and put down a whole bunch of spine crawlers right from the get-go. I know very well that many of those will probably get cancelled by the Zealots that will be moving into my mineral line very shortly, but as long as I manage to delay them long enough to maybe get 1 or 2 up, I'm in an okay spot. At least I'm gonna be able to hold reasonably well. So I'm trying my very best here to micro the drones. Don't really want to be losing those. Just buying myself as much time as possible. Canceling the spine crawlers at the last second. And trying to go for the surrounds. Now, I don't really want to surround them fully. Because if I do that, all of the drones are gonna be, you know, moving around as well. And they're basically all gonna end up falling. So I'm just buying time here. Just trying to get him into a chokehold. So he can't be attacking my spine crawlers that easily. 3 spine crawlers are about to finish up. And I got my queen out as well. Gonna hit that inject. 3 of the spines do end up finishing there, and he doesn't even finish up the one that was in the mineral line there. So, all things considered, we are pretty far behind. There is 19 harvesters for my opponent and only 9 remaining for me, but I got a hatchery inside of his base. And if you have a quick look at his vision, he currently is not aware of the situation whatsoever. Now, he gets a little bit of a vision of the creep that is slowly expanding towards his gas geyser. But yeah, right now I think he is starting to be at the very least a little bit cautious about it. But right now I am just starting to make as many units as I possibly can inside of my opponent's base. Now there's a couple things to keep in mind here. First and foremost, all of his units producing structures, the gateways that he has, are across the map. He doesn't have anything over here close to this side of the map that can really do very much other than the Mothership Core. He's gonna start chrono boosting that one out as soon as possible to get the photon overcharge out and eventually deal with my Zerglings. Now for that reason, I'm also getting a queen here so I can actually deal with the Mothership Core and eventually shoo it away so it won't be able to pick off all of my things. At the same time, also moving away that overload and trying to dash around here, trying to make the biggest amount of Zerglings that I possibly can. At the same time though, meanwhile in my side of the map, there is still a bunch of spine crawlers. There's still a bunch of spine crawlers sitting in my mineral line right now. Gotta be careful though, photon overcharge is gonna be triggered, but those spine crawlers are gonna be really good at defending, and I also got a couple of defensive Zerglings as well as a queen here. As long as I manage to engage reasonably well, I'm gonna be just okay. Second queen is about to finish up, but I did misposition my spawning pool. My spawning pool is under fire right now, and once that falls, I'm not gonna have anything left over to make Zerglings with. So these are the units that I got. as long as I manage to at the very least shoo away that Mothership Core like I'm doing right now, and as long as I clean up enough of his economy, I should be a-okay. The spine crawlers are allowed to start dashing in and out. I don't have any unit producing whatsoever anymore. But now that I finished up all of the Zealots that he was pushing with, and now that I've finished up all of the probes that he had, the base inside of his base ended up being a solid decision. And my opponent, GG, well plays out. Now, obviously, this is the type of game you don't see very often, right? This is the type of game that, generally speaking, will only be happening very, very, very seldomly. And I think the key things to take away here is, well, first off, don't get your gas. That gas didn't really do very much whatsoever. I basically just wasted minerals as well as time on that. Secondly, make sure you position your spine or your spawning pool right behind the mineral lines. So something right here would be way better, or maybe even somewhere so you can block off the access to your mineral lines. So maybe right there would be a pretty good spot for it as well. And then, like, basically make the hatchery on your opponent's side of the map. Since he doesn't have any unit production going on here anyway, he's not going to be able to do very much. And as long as you finish up at least a few spines in your main, you should be a-okay to do with the triple proxy gate aggression. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this little bit of a wonky game. We ended up obtaining victory, something I didn't really expect at the time while playing this. I was a little bit frustrated when I scouted my opponent's 3 gateways, but we ended up squeezing out the victory. I want to thank you guys all for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I'll see you in the next one.